Most of us think retirement means our paychecks just stop. But what if I told you it's actually the start of a brand new financial system, one with all these hidden rules that can change your monthly income by thousands of dollars? So let's break those rules down.
Seriously, the difference between a comfortable retirement and a really stressful one could just come down to a few rules you might not even know exist. The stakes are incredibly high, and today we're going to make sure you're on the right side of them.
And look, this isn't just some theory. The data shows that simply being married can give you a Social Security advantage of over $1,000 a month compared to someone who's never been married. That is a massive built-in difference.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to unpack all of it. We'll look at these hidden rules, that surprising marriage advantage, a costly surprise I'm calling the Medicare Premium Shock, then how to maximize your payout, and finally, how you can build your own personal retirement blueprint.
Okay, let's start with a really crucial mindset shift. Your retirement income isn't just a replacement for your salary. Think of it more like a new game, one with its own very specific rulebook that you really need to master.
The main thing to get here is that Social Security and Medicare, they aren't simple safety nets. They are super complex systems, and not understanding the little details can lead to some seriously unexpected and often pretty costly outcomes. Let's dig into the first one.
All right, let's tackle that first big tripwire we talked about, the huge financial advantage that being married can create inside the Social Security system. This one is a really big deal.
So here's the core of how it works. If you're married, you get a choice. You can take your own benefit, or you can claim up to half of your spouse's if that amount happens to be higher. But for single people, that option just doesn't exist. It's a structural advantage that's literally built right into the law.
And this chart just lays out the real-world impact perfectly. According to the data, the average annual Social Security income for married men is over $32,000. But for men who've never been married, it's just over $19,000. I mean, that means they're getting only about 60% of what their married friends get.
And the consequence of this income gap is pretty stark. That same research shows that never married men are 4 times more likely to live in poverty than married men. So this isn't just about numbers on a chart. It's about real-world financial security.
Okay, let's switch gears to another hidden hurdle. This is one that can catch even high earners completely by surprise, and it's all about a sudden jump in your Medicare costs that gets triggered by an increase in your income.
It's called IRMAA, and the idea behind it is pretty simple. Get higher earners to chip in more for Medicare. But the way it works is tricky. It's a surcharge they tack onto your premiums, and it's based on your income from 2 years ago.
Just look at how this plays out. For 2025, if your joint income back in 2023 was $212,000 or less, your premium is about $185 per person. But go just one single dollar over that limit and bam, your premium suddenly jumps by $74. And as you can see, the surcharges get incredibly steep from there.
So what kind of things can push you into a higher bracket? Well, it's not always obvious. A big Roth conversion can do it. Profits from selling the home you've lived in for years, even the interest from some municipal bonds. And get this, your last high salary year right before you retire can trigger this surcharge for your first 2 years on Medicare.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the problems. Now let's flip this around and talk about solutions. Because the single most powerful tool you have to control your retirement income is deciding when to claim your Social Security benefits.
I mean, this chart really says it all. If you claim at the earliest possible age, 62, the maximum benefit you could get in 2025 is over $2,800. If you wait until your full retirement age, it jumps to over $4,000. But if you can hold out until you're 70, the maximum skyrockets to over $5,100 a month. That is a massive, massive difference. Now, we have to be realistic here. Hitting that absolute tippy-top maximum benefit is tough. It means you had to earn at or above the Social Security tax cap for a full 35 years. Not many people do that, but the principle, that stays the same for everyone. Waiting means a bigger payout.
Let's make this really tangible. A financial firm ran the numbers for a hypothetical retiree. By waiting to claim from age 62 all the way to 70, her total lifetime benefits went up by nearly $375,000. That is a potentially life-changing amount of money.
So, knowing when to claim is obviously a huge piece of the puzzle, but it's not the only one. And that brings us to our final section, building your own blueprint. This is where we connect all the dots and help you shift from just being a passive recipient to becoming an active architect of your financial future. So to avoid that Medicare premium shock, you've got to be strategic. First, you can time big income events, like selling a home or doing a Roth conversion, so they happen in years where it won't push you over an IRMAA cliff. Second, if a major life event like, stopping work causes your income to plummet, you can file a form to ask for a new determination. And third, you can use tax-smart strategies to actively lower that income figure they look at. And part of being an active architect is just knowing the language of the system. For instance, people mix up SSI and SSDI all the time. SSI is a needs-based program. SSDI, on the other hand, is based on your work history. Just knowing the difference is fundamental to understanding all the benefits that might be available to you.
So here's the bottom line. Knowledge really is power here. Understanding how things like your marital status, those income spikes, and your claiming age all affect your benefits, that's what allows you to make proactive decisions instead of just sitting back and accepting whatever comes your way.
And that really leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Based on everything we've just gone over, what's one decision? Maybe it's about timing or income planning or even just learning more that you can review today to help build a more secure financial tomorrow.